is Lawrence Billups, LAWRENCEBILLUPS, Vice President, FOP, Lodge 1.
Did you have an opening statement at all that you wanted to read, or you just want us to fill out questions?
Just fill out questions.
Okay. So if you could just tell us why are we here today? What's the issue?
We're here today concerning the morale of the Birmingham Police Department. We're here to talk about where we're at now and how did we get to this position. So we're here to clear up some things, let some things be known, and take care of business that maybe wouldn't get some attention from about what's going on.
How would you say the morale is?
Morale is low. Morale is low. We had an officer leave last week, and he left not because to make more money. He basically and strictly said it was about the morale. So at this point, we got officers preparing to leave, and it's all based on morale.
What's happening in the precincts, in the department, that's forcing people to leave right now?
Lack of leadership. Lack of leadership. It's at the point now where we are not getting the leadership that we deserve, nor are the citizens of Birmingham getting the leadership in which they deserve out of the police department. We have a divided administration. We have a chief that's basically going around saying that he has no control over his department. So we have nobody leading us and giving us the direction to go into.
What do you say the biggest problem is right now? Is it staffing? Is it morale? Is it
all the above? Staffing causes a issue with morale. Morale is the reason we're short in staffing, because lack of morale has caused people to leave. People are looking for other jobs, and so when you have a lack of leadership, it becomes a problem. You know, people say that, I heard somebody tell us the other week that we're just not happy with any leaders. We want who we want, but that's not it. The thing of it is, everybody that does this job is held accountable, and so that accountability goes from the top all the way to the last officer. And so that's all we do at the FOP, is make sure that everybody's held accountable. We're accountable to our members, and the chief is accountable to the men and the women that he leads.
talk about the numbers, the staffing?
The budget is for the staffing is 725 officers, I believe. Our numbers are down around 430.
You're saying down by 430?
We're down by 300.
Down by 300.
Yes.
Meaning 300 positions that need to be filled.
That need to be filled. And so at that rate, if we go any further, we won't be able to properly do the job that we need to do. So at what point does the administration actually come up with a plan? We come up with a plan for recruitment and retainment. They're not willing to work with us on it. So we're having to deal with that administration that has stepped away from us. We've talked to them about the things that we can cooperate together and get things done. Right now, we're supposed to be talking to the mayor's office about some of those situations. My understanding that some things that we've asked for from the mayor's office and council is being taken care of. But the strategy that we need in order to go forward that needs to come through the police administration is not there.
How long have you been with Birmingham?
33 years.
So describe the atmosphere now compared to times in the past, because there have been turbulent times in the past. So
There have been times where things weren't exactly right, but the morale has never been like this. And it's over the last 7 years, under these last two administrations, the morale has not been this bad. You know, it's a situation where 33 years ago, even though people may have been disgruntled about things, it was a camaraderie that was there, and that we stuck together, and people just didn't leave this job. They enjoyed the job. The job was fun to do. And so you always, on any of the jobs, you'll have gripes and moans about things happening, but you enjoyed the job. And through the administrations that we have had, there's going to be gripes and moans, but you enjoyed the job. It's gotten to a point now with some officers that the job is not enjoyable anymore.
In 33 years, is this the largest number of officers that you have seen with the deficit?
Oh yes, oh yes. 2018, we were at around 875 officers. When I retired and came back in 2017, when I left in 2017, we were right at 970 some odd officers. So you see the numbers starting to go down. Chief Smith had a policy where he was bringing in younger officers. It alienated some senior guys, but they still tried to hang in there. But the problem came in that those younger officers just started leaving. They would come in and they would work. We had one young man come in, and he was the day before he got off the training car, and he quit. And so we're getting situations. We had a situation during that period of time that those young officers came in, but they just left. And so that became an issue. Now all of a sudden we come up and we stuck with with older officers, but the way things are run, the 12-hour shifts, the lack of seniority, those officers just, once they reached retirement, they just decided to retire. It wasn't worth staying. It was a peace of mind just to leave the department.
I know in the past with former Chief Patrick Smith, some of the concerns were, he's not from Birmingham. He has no ties to the area. That was some of the issues, right? But then now, Chief Thurman came in. He's been with the department for a long time. What's the difference between the two as to why there is still a problem almost 2 years later after he's become chief?
The problem is that, let me explain it like this. You could have all the qualification, but if you lack leadership skills, you still have a problem. So just because you're put in the place of a leader does not make you a leader. You have to have those skills to lead and get people to listen to you. The qualities of a leader is having people to do things even when they don't want to do them. They do them just because your skills pushed them in a way that they felt like it was their responsibility to do what was needed. And so the thing with Thurman, he's a good person. He has a good heart, but he lacks leadership skills. And so in that, you can't make a decision and run and hide. If you make the decision, you have to stand up to it. And so he made a decision to put us on 12s, and we haven't seen him since. We get nothing coming down from upstairs saying this is the direction we're going. I asked him last year what direction we were headed in, and he didn't give me an answer last year. And so we don't have a direction. It's been a year since I asked. We don't know where we're headed to. And that's not how you lead men and women, by not giving them the direction they're headed in. You can say all you want that I can't run my department. Well, you need to stand up and go against the grain and take back your department or leave your department.
What does that mean, I can't run my department? Are people not listening to him? Does he feel like he has no say? What does that mean?
I guess if he feels that he has no say within his department. But
Does that come from the mayor's office or from
he didn't elaborate where it came from, but evidently it's coming from higher than him. But at that point, if you have no say within your department, at that point, it's time for you to leave. Because unlike where a secretary might make a mistake and might misprint a word, in this line of duty that we do, it can cost somebody their life because of a mistake you made. And that has been, because of policy, it cost a life a few years back.
An officer's line?
When Sergeant YT got killed. So, you know, it was policy that said we got to run this operation, and we didn't have the manpower to do it. And so therefore it left it short on what you needed to run the operation.
Do you all feel that way about operations you're running now, like Operation Night Rider? Is there concerns there?
It's not concern. It's just the part that is come too late. That's a 15-year problem. That's in the last 3 to 4 years, it has gotten worse. Commanders at those precincts involved in that area have been asking for help, and nobody seems to want to help them. In the last 3 years, I know of one operation that they've had. All of a sudden, you get complaints from downtown, and you come up with a major operation to stop this from happening. While at the same time, that night, we were undermanned. When the shooting happened a couple of weeks ago, we were actually undermanned and they were down there. And yet Operation Night Rider was on South Side. And so at that point, you know, it's like they're bringing up things now in a panic mode. And when you panic, it doesn't help anybody. You know, it's not a controlled situation where they're coming up with real plans. They're panicking and bringing up plans. And then actually, until they actually bring something for real, we're still going to have the situation that we're having. I mean, the criminals have gotten so emboldened that now they're doing daylight killings like it's nothing. And so, you know, our citizens deserve more than that. Our citizens don't deserve, I can't run my department. They deserve more than that. And so they can't, these citizens can't keep sleeping in their bathtubs and on the floor. It just can't keep happening. And you can't pick and choose what neighborhoods you want to put people in and care for them and do your job for them. It doesn't work like that. Everybody deserves the same amount of protection. And so you got to really come up with a real plan to give us marching orders to say, this is our plan, this is what we're going to do. Allow these captains to actually, in these precincts, to actually work and come up with their own plans. They know the problems within their precincts. This, all of a sudden, everything has to come away from the 6th floor when they don't even come out here. And so these captains in these precincts are actually listening to and hearing the problems of the community. Allow them to do it. Allow them to make a plan. Allow the people within the precinct to make a plan to actually be the ones that actually can come up with something to help solve this thing, because we're at a critical time now. And all hands have to be on deck. And we have to make sure that we take these streets back. We can't keep just turning these streets over to the criminals.
So what is
the
the
vision and leadership? Like, what do you think the vision and leadership is?
Well, because you have leadership that was left over from the Patrick Smith administration, and the way they came into office was more dealing with compromise with the man Patrick Smith, and you have other leadership that comes in and they don't feel like they can get done what they need to get done. Those things that they need to move forward with, they can't get it done because they're not allowed to do it. And so that causes friction within the leadership. And that's the thing where Chief Thurman has to go in and actually rectify that situation.
So who are you representing today? The executive board or the entire body of the FOP?
The entire body.
And what is it specifically that you are planning to do or want to see happen or asking for today?
Well, what happened on the 4th of June, a motion was put forth on the floor of a vote of no confidence, about the administration, the police administration. It hasn't been voted on. It was just put on the floor for us to present to the body to see if they want to vote on it.
So are you saying that you are, the FOP board is?
What I'm saying is that the motion was put forth, and under our guidelines, we have to present that to the body.
When will that happen?
We're looking at it. We have a meeting next month, and so we'll look at framing it next month to see what the body wants to do.
So right now, the FOP is considering voting
Yes.
on a no confidence issue.
Yes.
And just to be sure, the no confidence issue is towards the administration, not Scott Thurman specifically.
It's toward the administration because they represent as a whole, and so it's as a whole we have no confidence. Chief Thurman is actually just the leader of that administration. So, the head leads the body.
I was going to say, I think that's a bit different from previous years where we've talked about a no confidence in a specific chief, but to not have confidence in an administration, what does that say to the public if the FOP has no confidence in the administration as a whole?
What we're saying is that the administration have not shown the ability to lead in a positive way with the men and women of the department, and they have not shown the ability to be able to lead in a positive way for the community.
And so we know, like you said, that we Chief Thurman, so would that be all assistant chiefs, deputy chiefs?
It'll be the administration.
Because last time it was Chief Smith and Darnell Davenport.
Yes.
So who is it this time?
It's Chief Thurman and his administration, all four chiefs that follow upon it.
So, okay.
And just to be sure, I know a few weeks ago we had numbers from Council President O'Quinn about how many vacancies there are, and I think at the time it was 270 something up there, maybe close to 280. I know you said 300, so that was just a few weeks ago. Are you saying that number has grown now?
It's 290. It's 296. We've had people quit since then, quit since then. So the number is right at 300.
Is there anything else you want to add, or anything?
No.
How many officers do you think you all need to run the city?
We need to run the city in the way. In the thing about it, the optimum number is 1,200. We can actually run it in a decent way right at 900. We're pushing it at 700. So you can run it decently at 900. You can pretty much staff everything you need to staff. The number needed is 12. It's always has been a number. And you hear people say, well, the Birmingham population has shrunk. It really hasn't. People have moved in the suburbs, but they do what they do within the city boundaries. So if they were doing something illegal before they moved to the suburbs, they still doing it illegal back in the city boundaries. So our numbers need to be, the great number would be 1,200. But if we can get our numbers back up to 800, 900, we can do what we got to do.
Is that even feasible? I mean, not just with Birmingham, but all law enforcement agencies are having trouble recruiting.
Some agencies are, but it's a point where you have to pay. You have to have the amenities that officers want. You have to have the benefits that officers want. So those things have to work hand in hand in order to recruit. It's officers, you talk to officers in this area, they would love to work for Birmingham because it's nowhere else in this area you can do the things and learn the things that you learn within the city of Birmingham. But when the morale is low, you don't have equipment, the money ain't where it should be. We've saved our way into this position, Now we got to buy our way out of it. We got to spend money. We're at a point now where we just don't compete locally for people. We're competing regionally, and at some point we'll be competing nationally. So the money has to be competitive. The amenities that come along with the job have to be great. The benefits have to actually do what they do, benefit the employees. The retirement has to be substantial. And so all those things work together, and those things help boost morale. Those things help recruit. You have to come up with a real plan to recruit. It's 67 counties in the state of Alabama. And of those 67 counties, only about 5 of them can actually support their citizenry with the jobs and the income need to do it. Everybody else, they're scrapping by. It makes no sense not recruiting those people. Build facilities in which they can come, offer them housing. We got tons of property out here that Birmingham can actually offer them at a rate that they can come in and they can move into those houses. We can build a dorm where they can come in, and while they go through the academy, they can stay there. We can house them. So we got to think outside the box on how we do recruiting, and allow these people to see that we're serious about bringing them in. I talked to a young lady today, and she really want to do it, but she's hesitant because what she hears. We have to get a positive message out that the city of Birmingham is a great place to work, but the city of Birmingham has to make it a great place to work.
Some of the things you just mentioned about retention and how to recruit people, I know you had told us a few weeks ago that you want to present ideas to the mayor's office as well as Chief Thurman. Has that happened yet? And
No. No.
Is there a date on the table when you all?
Well, we're gonna meet with the mayor this week, and we're gonna put those things forward because council and mayor has to actually vote on the monies that are needed to bring those things forward.
And this happened a while ago. We have seen or saw at least one cruiser that had "we're hiring" taped all around it. Is that normal to see, and is that concerning? Because that's the way you have to pull people in.
Well, that's the recruitment cruise.
Are you okay with that kind of idea of recruiting?
I'm okay with it, but you have to be more direct. They do go to college campuses, but even in that, there are not enough of them. It's just 3 of them. So what the department has to do is use volunteers. There are volunteers that are willing to help them out and go to these places and go to these campuses and present our plan. But when you only have 3 people doing this and they're trying to go all over the state and all over the region to do this, and sometimes you have multiple events, and so they can only get to 1 or 2. When if you had volunteers to help you do this, you could get more people out there telling people about what you could do within the city of Birmingham.
Yes, anything else you want to add?
No, that's it.
Thank you.
Thank
All right.
you.
I hope I gave y'all a lot of information because I talked a lot that time.